this is Tell Yokneam in the Jezreel Valley. We're standing on Mount Carmel. Matter of fact, the place we're standing is where Elijah had his showdown with the prophets of Baal, and looking down upon Yokneam, which guarded the pass there. You can see how steep the slope is. Normally, especially in an area like the Jezreel Valley where you get a lot of rainfall, you would expect that it would be nice and rounded, but why do you see that nice angular juncture there? What creates that nice, well-defined ridge or rim? Can you guess?
Where there was a wall?
Yeah, the walls. They build the walls on the outside of the city. If you were an Aggie, you would build the walls on the inside of the city, but everyone else builds the walls on the outside of the city to keep people out. Makes sense. And so the outer rim is solid stone foundations for walls, and that creates that nice, well-defined boundary. That's the difference between a normal, smooth, natural formation and a man-made foundation, because that wall creates that angle. See? So that's the difference between a mountain, I guess, or a hill and a tell. The excavations at Yokneam were in this area. Just across the street, there's an army base, and the army base is there because there's a spring there, a natural spring. Well, the spring's been there forever. And so the reason that you see excavation right across the street from the army base is because Amnon ben Tor, that began the excavations, he was looking for the water tunnel, the water system. And of course, you would build the tunnel closest to the water system. You wouldn't start digging here, right, and dig all the way underneath the tell. That's ridiculous. You start right next to it. So he's looking for the water tunnel, so he began digging as close to the spring as he could get. This is the excavations at Yokneam. I think this photograph was taken in 1986. But this is the outer wall right along the edges. You can see a street here. And this is a house, wall of a house in the interior. What was interesting is you see this wall, it bends outward here. See that line? It should be going in this direction, right? But it bends out, and he put these volunteers in this area to dig straight down because Amnon believed that this extension of the wall here was the actual entrance into the water tunnel where they would get their water. And this is in 86. They excavated through the 87 season, and at the end of the 88 season, they found the entrance. He was right. And they were supposed to have excavated the water tunnel, but I don't think they have because it's not a big tourist attraction. Yokneam is mentioned in the Old Testament 3 times, but it's not a big biblical city, so people don't want to go there because they don't know, that Jesus walked there or whatever. But anyway, it is important biblically because the street level here is Iron Age 1, which would be during the time of King David. And they found evidence of destruction there, and in the report, Ben Tor suggests that destruction may be the destruction by King David as he extended the kingdom north. So there is a strong biblical context to the site, even though it's not a tourist trap, so to speak. All right. This is the water tunnel at Megiddo, just to show you what it might look like. They've excavated through the bedrock down and intercepted the spring at depth. And so you can go down and get your water and come back up without having to face the enemy. And they're very clear water tunnels at Megiddo, Hadzor, and Jerusalem has a water tunnel, Hezekiah's tunnel. We'll be seeing those throughout. We're standing on the slopes of Yokneam looking to the west toward the Mediterranean Sea. It's hard to tell in this image, but this is the foothills of the Carmel Range. This is Lower Galilee. And they come together through a very narrow pass. The pass is only about a quarter mile wide, and it opens up into the coastal plain. And the Philistines lived in the coastal plain, right? And the Israelites lived in the hill country. Well, if the Philistines wanted to attack the Israelites in the hill country with their chariots, they needed something nice and flat for their iron chariots. So that pass becomes very important, right? Because that pass is the entryway into the interior of the hill country. And so guarding that pass is very significant. So you see the importance of Yokneam? Because this tell guards that pass and keeps enemies from getting into the interior. That's the reason it was significant that King David take the site and it become part of the Davidic kingdom. Also, this image shows what supervisors do. See? And this shows what volunteers do. Point that This is the pass right here. See how narrow it is? And this intersection has been there for millennia. Didn't have a stoplight, but it's been there. And it's just a very important line of communication. Matter of fact, the Via Maris, the Way of the Sea, goes through here, and the high road also. This is Tel Cassis. It's a small village or garrison that sits right in the pass itself. So this is where the soldiers that are watching the pass would live. And the excavations there are quite, show that the buildings are quite primitive. Also, you can see the mighty Kishon River right here. You read about Elijah when he fought the prophets of Baal. It says he ran down Mount Carmel. It says he leapt over the Kishon. So I always see it like Superman, like leaping over tall buildings or whatever. But you get there and it's just like this drainage ditch. So I guess even an old man, if he got, running downhill, good headwind or some tailwind, he could clear it. I could probably leap over it.